Hello. One of the things I enjoy about Go Battle League is the opportunity to try out some experimental teams. That's particularly good in Great League, where a lot more things are viable than in the other leagues, but it's possible in all of them. Today I've got a all-steel team. It's a bit of a troll team, the idea being that most teams don't have enough steel counters, particularly not right now with the absence of Registeel from the meta. There's increasingly people who forgot to pack their Hydro Pump on their Azumarill, or maybe they brought a single steel counter, not three of them. So with that in mind, I've got a triple steel team. The play here is Skarmory is our anti-fighting, and Bastiodon is our anti-fire. And between Registeel and Skarmory, there's not actually that much overlap in the coverage threats. One is vulnerable to fire fighting in the ground, the other is vulnerable to electric and fire. So between the two of them we can usually get a decent amount of resistance and coverage across the meta. We lead with the flying type. We then look to draw out a fighter by swapping in our Registeel, or a ground for that matter, because that keeps it away from the Bastiodon in the back, where they're double super effective, and lets us clean up with Skarmory. So with that in mind, let's just hop into the recordings. I've played 5 matches this morning with this, and this is the set that's running them back to back. Reasonably successful, I hope, and I hope you enjoy them. So we lead with, there we go, a mirror match. Face to face, we're just going to charge up a Brave Bird and just let them throw a charge move. We resist each other, so there's not really much point in throwing the move. I just want to charge up and get one in stock before I switch. If I switch to Reggie, I think I'll force them out, which I do, which means you can line them up with the Bastiodon later. Toxic Rogue coming out is a bit of a threat to us, but it's squishy. So whilst it does hit us for super effective with its moves, just look at that, Flash Cannon has just taken off almost all its health. My opponent concedes. Well, good game. On to the next match. That does happen a lot with this team. There's a lot of people who decide that no, they can't be bothered to fight this anymore. Wigglytuff, this is a good start. We resist their charm, they're taking neutral from our flying. They switch into an Umbreon, and I ponder a bit what to switch into here. They throw their charge move, I'm going to let it land. I think if I bring the Bastiodon out, I'll get a nice sort of neutral matchup, and we can save the Reggie up with its steel damage for the Wigglytuff. This is a fairly even fight, because neither of these things really hit each other very hard at all. It's a bit of a snooze fest, I have to confess, but I'll keep talking to stop you getting bored. Not going to shield anything, we're going to let all the moves through, and you can see the foul plays nibbling away tiny chunks, and the Stone Edge in return will also nibble away. Perhaps slightly more, but they get twice as many of them. So, as you can see, we're getting a bit of a lead on the health there. Bastiodon has monstrous defence. Now, out comes the biggest threat to this team, and a bit of lag as well. I might have got to the Stone Edge a bit faster, but I'm just going to let it go. Bring back in the fighting counter, and look to land some Sky Attacks. They do still have their shields left though, so I'm not actually sure we'll get them to land before it can take us out. But we'll give it a go anyway. We're going to have to shield here, because the last thing we want is to get this aligned to our Registeel in the back. And there we go, Sky Attack, see if it lands. And there we go. No, another shield. So they're down 2 shields, and I'm trying to get to another one. If I did, it would take them out entirely. I don't think I'm going to, even if I shield this, so I don't shield, I let it go. I do need to quickly get to a Flash Cannon on the Registeel in order to put Medicham down, and I think I'll get there, but not before they hit me with another charge move. Power Punch. Okay, so it would have done a useful chunk, because it's powered up several times now, but hopefully this will take out our threat. Now we've got a good alignment now, because all they've got left in the back is a Wigglytuff. But one of the things about Wigglytuff is it's quite tough, and we've got the Umbreon to get out of the way first as well. So we'll drop a Focus Blast on it, that should finish it off, and we're going down quite hard. So actually we're in range of another foul play at this point, but we get to our charge move in time. We resist the charm damage from Wiggly, but we need to get the Flash Cannon out, and this is going to be a bit of a race. We're going to make it before they charm us down? Not quite. I don't actually know that the Flash Cannon would have finished it from there, because like I say, one of the advantages of Wigglytuff is it can soak a Flash Cannon from a Registeel. It's one of the reasons I like it. It's a fairy type that isn't quite as vulnerable to the great big trash can of doom. So we'll come out for another match. Same again. Sunny Cherim. Got to watch out for the fireballs it'll be throwing at us, ridiculously fast with its bullet seeds, like that. And we'll just shield one, and we'll probably sort of alternate our shields, because if we can land a sky attack, we will still take this out in one hit. So we're going to let this one land and see if they want to go equal shields on this one in order to get some switch advantage. They might, and that might push us into another shield, but I think we can take a weather ball on us now for just a moment. So if they get to that, we might well survive. We'll find out. Not going to shield here, save the shield up. And weather ball very nearly, but we do get the sky attack off. And I'm not popping in the bubbles here because I was hoping it wouldn't do quite enough to take it down and I'd farm a little energy, but that was not to be. So Azumarill comes in and finishes. We bring out Registeel because it's got the better matchup against the Azumarill. They switch to Pumill Snow, and it's probably a good game at this point. We're going to throw rock at it and resist all its moves. The energy ball does hit for neutral because the steel and the rock type balance out to create neutral for the grass, but rock moves, well, they should take this down quite hard. We'll see if they go for a shield, and they don't. Goodbye. Out comes the Azumarill, and we're going to see if they're packing a Hydro Pump, because that can hurt us, but I think we'll probably let this one land just in case. It will use up all the energy, and that means Registeel's got a clear run. But they have Play Rough today, so that's going to hurt them, and they concede. I'm assuming they didn't actually have a Hydro Pump, and therefore they're looking at Play Rough or Ice Beam, and neither of which would have done any good here. Then we have a Bastiodon. Well, this is a disastrous matchup, so we switch immediately into our Bastiodon. Now you'll notice on the side I've got the IVs of the Bastiodon, which means I'm actually going to win most mirror matches. But out comes a Sunny Cherim with Razor Leaf. Bastiodon Razor Leaf sound familiar to anyone? Yes, you've seen that a few times. It'll be the Bastiodon double Razor Leafer. So let's see how this team plays against that. I think I'm in with a good chance though, because I've got Flamethrower, I've got flying damage, and I've got a great big tank. So where the ball nibbles away, we throw the Flamethrower back, and we'll see if they want to shield this one. If they don't, it will take them out, and we'll see what they've got in the back. And they do shield it, so they're going to take us down, but that's okay, because out comes the Pepper Pot of Doom. No, out comes Skarmory. So flying damage will of course nibble away at it, we can soak the move, and we can just farm down for a bit of energy. 2 shields to no shields, Bastiodon in the back, but Registeel really does a number on it. Victory Bell. Now Victory Bell is bad news, but another concede. That's 3 now. Is that 3 out of this set so far? Well, that's good going. And then next up, Bastiodon does not have a good match against Registeel. It's disastrous. The Flash Focus Blast almost one-shots it, but not quite, as you do have to land 2 usually. So it's not a complete disaster. Right, Azumarill and Skarmory lining up against each other. Go for a Sky Attack, see if they want to give us a shield, and do a bit of damage. We're looking to switch though, because didn't quite make it in time. We'll see what they got. Part of this exercise is to find out if they do in fact have Hydro Pump, and the answer is yes they do. So we've got to watch out for that and look to shield it. If they didn't have Hydro Pump, we might have gone with the Bastiodon. Out comes an Alolan Marowak. Now that's a problem for this team. It does well against Skarmory and Registeel, but it's still not all that tough. They can't really afford to get away with no shields. So we're just going to no shield this one and look to get a shield advantage out of it. Throwing flash cannons at it, I mean it's resisting those, but look, it's losing health faster than we are. They're probably going to be able to get to their Shadow Ball or a Bone Club, either of which will be a problem. I'm not going to shield, and right, so Shadow Ball's taken us out, but look at that, it's not quite finished the job. So even in a no shield face-off with the hardest counter possible, it's still not done so well. We finish it off quickly with our super effective rock moves, and out comes their Azumarill again. So we're going to face off against them. We know they've got Hydro Pump, so we're going to have to watch for that coming out and try and shield it. We're going to throw the Stone Edge. They shield that, and we switch to Skarmory again, hoping they're going to throw their energy at us, and if not, we're going to throw Sky Attacks at them in return. And that should hopefully mean that they're dry on energy. A Ferrothorn. It's also difficult for this team, but again, the flying damage does quite well, and we get to a Sky Attack just about. Ferrothorn really doesn't like the Flamethrower, but we are going to have to get a bit cute with this play, because it is going to be able to hit up Bastiodon for neutral, and we do have 2 shields left, so we have to decide what we're going to shield. If the Azumarill does have a charge move ready, that can put us down. So we're going to let the Power Whips land and look to farm up a Flamethrower. But actually, probably not use it. Because if we do use it, we'll have no energy, and it'll be a race to the charge move on Azumarill, and we'll be on low health. So another attack incoming, trying to decide whether to shield it or not. Going to go with no shield on this one, because I think I can finish it before they've put us down. They go for the switch quickly, and they did have a charge move loaded, so we put the shield up. The Hydro Pump doesn't land, so we can finish off, farm down, and before we get to another charge move, we've got a Flamethrower loaded, and double super effective against Ferrothorn. I mean, I think we'd have won without it, but it's just insult to injury at this point. And there we go, toast. Hopefully a nice quick set for you. Hope you enjoyed that. I quite like this team. I mean, it doesn't work very well at all when your opponent is ready for double steals, and they will tear you apart if they happen to have, you know, dual counters such as a fighting type and a Whiscash. That's just the way it goes with gimmick teams like this. If someone catches onto the gimmick, it's a disaster. But in a blind format like Go Battle League, that doesn't happen as often as you might imagine. As you can see, we've gone 4-1, and actually 3 of those were people conceding on us. So, you know, I just enjoy that. I just like, you know, winding people up and trolling a little bit there, and getting a good seed is always a good example. Thank you very much.